Okay, let's take you to the northwest, where 51 people have lost their lives on the province's roads so far during the festive season. Authorities continue to appeal to motorists to respect the rules of the law. We now speak to Tshegofatso Mothibedi. He's the Northwest Department of Community Safety and Transport spokesperson. Mothibedi, are you with us? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Dudu. Thank you so much for having me.
So we have a figure of 51 people who have since perished. If you could just give us the latest this hour in terms of the situation in the province.
Well, the Northwest Province as is remained very stable, particularly on our roads. We were actually having problems, particularly before the festive season, where we had some accidents. But since December, we've had about 72 crashes. That's a reduction of 17% compared to last year and a year before that, from 114 and 118. That would tell you that as a Northwest Province, there's something right that we are doing. Particularly if we look at some of the operations that we've been having in all 4 districts. We've had the operation where MEC Lehare has been leading them. Tomorrow or this coming week, we'll be going to RSM, which is one of the far-flung rural areas where we've had problems. If you look at some of these crashes, 40% of them are in Duduzile Ramela, which is the capital in Mahikeng. So we have dispatched a team of seasoned officials that will be working with the new specialized team, provincial unit called the Eagles, to deal with these crashes, particularly in leading with the numbers. But as is MEC Lehare is continuing to commend all law enforcement officials in thwarting an uptick which we're worried about. As is now, we only have about 51 people rather who have lost their life. But we are continuing to intensify all efforts to ensure that we save our people on the roads, especially now during these unfavorable weather conditions.
You speak of Duduzile Ramela, and you also speak of it in the same breath as being in the most rural, far-flung areas, but you're seeing the highest numbers in terms of road accidents. Why?
Well, it depends. We've seen a trend of people, drinking and driving, which is something that is worrying us as the department. MEC Lehare has been leading motorists in terms of education to say we don't really need to do this. We just need to change our behavior as people to ensure that we are responsible on our roads. But as is the Northwest, as you know, we are in the Northwest capital in Mahikeng, where we know that most of the events are held there. So this could be the reason why we have so many accidents in those areas. But we have tried to ensure that we dispatched more members, more boots on the ground to ensure that our people really are responsible and we enforce the law. Those who we find to be reckless on our roads, we'll remove them and put them behind bars. But we are ensuring that there is police visibility so that people are able to obey the law. But in the Platinum Belt, in Rustenburg and Greater Bojanala area, which is the biggest region here, where we've seen high volume of traffic, people living in Gauteng, people coming to the Northwest, we are relatively happy, particularly where we've seen some accidents before, just after Marikana Plaza and Bridge. That's where we've had problems before, but as is, we have members stationed there 24/7 to ensure that we are really visible, we are there, and we encourage people to be really responsible on the road. MEC Lehare will also be going to KK, which is the Kenneth Kaunda region in the the former gold platinum, from the gold belt in Blackstop, where we know that there's been a spin-off of criminalities on our roads, spikes, and people being robbed. So as is, we are trying to make sure that we remain as visible as possible on our roads, and we ensure that our people really see us and feel safe when they travel on arterial roads. But we have a team, a 24/7 team in most arterial roads in the Northwest Province. That will be your N12, just after Blackstop and Volomaranstad. If you come to N4, that is Rustenburg, going straight to the Botswana border. We also have your N18, that is Vryburg, going to Kimberley and Bloemfontein, where we have a team of specialized members who are really working hard to ensure that we avert any uptick during this time of the year.
Mothibedi, you speak of visibility, and so what is the understanding? Because year in, year out, as you noted, sometimes it fluctuates each year. It gets better or either gets worse, but it's the same thing. And so what is the understanding of why we find ourselves having to talk about the same thing every year when it comes to road safety? Be it people are perhaps abusing alcohol, be it people are driving recklessly, be it pedestrians. What is the understanding from the Northwest, at least, more so when you speak of visibility? Because everybody knows when it's Christmas time or when it's holiday season, you will see law enforcement. On any other day, they're not there, meaning this behavior could very well be happening every other day. It's just that now it's more highlighted because you are out there, you're visible.
Yeah. No, very true. Actually, that is the reason why we have a team, a new launched provincial unit called the Eagles. Remember that the current members were only working between 6 and 10 p.m. But this new unit is working 24/7. It would mean that if you are reckless on the road around 3 a.m. or 12 a.m., which is actually where we have problems, where these crashes are happening between 6 p.m. and 12 midnight. That's where actually we have problems in the Northwest Province. But our team are there now. That is why we are seeing a better response from our people in terms of responsibility, in terms of encouraging each other to be responsible on our roads. So we are trying as a Northwest Province. If you were to look at the national figures, it will tell you that we are second least provinces in terms of fatalities, in terms of accidents. So it would mean that we are doing something good. There's something right that we are doing compared to other provinces. But it does not mean that we will then be resting on our laurels. We are working 24/7. I'm saying this now. MEC Lolahari is preparing himself to go to Dr. Tshegofatso Mothibedi region, where we have had problems before. Particularly, you look at the trucks on our roads, that's where we have challenges. But we are trying to make sure that traffic flow is smooth. We are trying to make sure that visibility, as I said earlier, because one of the things that we are struggling with in the Northwest Province is the issue of roads. Our people, some of them are very impatient on the road. Even the quality of roads when you go to the far-flats, which is where the problem is. But there's a shift. If you look at the figures last year and year before last, most of these accidents were happening in urban areas. But ours now, the 72 crashes that we experienced since the start of the December, most of them are in the rural areas. So it will tell you that the issue is not only the issue of visibility, the issue is also, other issues that would then come out from this issue of accident. That will be issue of roads quality in our rural areas. It's been raining, we know, and it would mean that some of these roads are really not in good conditions. But MEC Lolahari is there. It's clear that we need to ensure that all boots are on the ground at all times, and also educate our people in terms of road responsibility on our roads.
Quality of our roads. Thank you very much. Compromising your efforts there, essentially. Tshegofatso Mothibedi speaks for the Northwest Department of Community Safety and Transport.